Hello, this is the daily reading for the 10th of March 2019. It'll be Luke 4 1 through 13. So it says, "Filled with the Holy Spirit, Jesus returned from the Jordan and was led by the Spirit into the desert for 40 days to be tempted by the devil. He ate nothing during those days, and when they were over, he was hungry. The devil said to him, 'If you are the Son of God, command this stone to become bread.' Jesus answered him, 'It is written, one does not live on bread alone.' Then he took him up and showed him all the kingdoms of the world in a single instant. The devil said to him, 'I shall give to you all this power and glory, for it has been handed over to me, and I may give it to whomever I wish. All this will be yours if you worship me.' Jesus said to him in reply, 'It is written, you shall worship the Lord your God, and him alone shall you serve.' Then he led him to Jerusalem, made him stand on the parapet of the temple, and said to him, 'If you are the Son of God, throw yourself down from here, for it is written, He will command His angels concerning you to guard you, and with their hands they will support you, lest you dash your foot against a stone.' Jesus said to him in reply, 'It is also said, You shall not put the Lord your God to the test.' When the devil had finished every temptation, he departed from him for a time." So this is kind of a long one, but I think it's also pretty important. So what does it mean? It may seem like this one's about temptations, because the story does talk all about the different temptations that Satan was showing to Jesus, but I think that's not what it's really about. I think this is about putting God to the test, especially brought in by the last temptation that is shown to Jesus, in which he responds that thou shalt not put God to the test. So how does this apply to us? I think a lot, actually, because a lot of people you see nowadays aren't super believing in God. A lot of people are very doubtful or don't believe at all, and so they look for ways to try and either prove God does exist or prove that God doesn't exist, or things like that. And you'll hear things like, oh, well, if God did exist, he would do this. For example, people would say, oh, this person's very sick, and if God did exist, he would show mercy, he would cure them. But this is exactly the kind of thing this reading is talking about. This reading is talking about the idea that God does not need to be put to the test, and you shouldn't put God to the test. You shouldn't go out and find things to say, if God is real, he will do this, because you will be disappointed. The idea is that just the simple belief in God is enough. You don't need to have some kind of concrete proof or some kind of miraculous thing happen to show you that God is real. You simply feel it, and it's part of your belief, and you don't need to test God. And a lot of people nowadays are very into testing God, especially those who don't particularly believe in him. So what this reading is going out and telling us is that don't base your faith simply on tests. Don't lose faith either just because some test didn't happen. God is there, and you need to remember that just the simple belief in God is enough. You need to know that his love for you is there, even if you can't see it all the time, and that your belief in it is far more reaffirming than any sort of random test you put God to is. So that's all for today. If you like this, give it a like. I'm Joseph. Give, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And I will see you next time.